Time now is 5 o'clock. Welcome everyone to South King Fire Board of Fire Commissioners meeting. Call the meeting to order. Chief Anderson, pledge allegiance, please. Thank you. Also we have Commissioner Monroe will be joining us shortly, I hope, online. So approval of minutes from the following board meetings. Regular meeting on February 24th. I was not there, so I'm abstaining from voting, but take a motion. Someone has to take a motion if you want to do it. Commissioner Vedino.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes for the February 24th.
I'll second.
February 24th meeting, motion by Commissioner Burr, second by Commissioner Vedino. Any discussion on that? Hearing and seeing none, of course, I'm going to stand, was not at that meeting again. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Monroe is not present, so we do have a approval for the regular meeting of February 24th. Approval for the retreat and special meeting on March 9th. We have a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Motion made by Commissioner Burr, second by Commissioner Vedino for the retreat special meeting on March 9th for approval of minutes. Any discussion on that motion?
Thank you for scheduling that. That went very well.
Thank you, Commissioner.
It was an enjoyable day of getting to know Marquise and getting to discuss a lot of things and I think we made good decisions. Now we just have to live them out. I think we can.
Thank you, Commissioner Fuller. Hearing and seeing no other comments on that, all those in favor say aye.
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 And Commissioner. Oh, thank you. Joined us. Thank you, Commissioner Monroe. So, approved. Item number 4, Commissioner comments. So we'll go to Commissioner Fuller.
Oh, surprise. Again, great report. Question, or not really a comment on MIH and CARES. I'd like to have an overview with them. I think we ought to have a discussion just about where they are, where they've been, where they're going. We haven't had one of those in a while. On the heavy rescue, how much have we not been able to do because we didn't have it in service? Have there been any situations where we sure should have had the heavy rescue?
Commissioner, I'll have the Ops Chief, Chief Michael, speak to that.
So I don't have specific call numbers, but for the most part, they are still responding. They're using the previous rescue rig that we used in the past before we got the heavy rescue. So they've transferred most of the equipment back to that, and they're also working on putting the rest of the equipment back into trailers until the Warthog or until the heavy rescue comes back. So I don't know that they've missed any calls per se, but their capabilities have been a little bit limited as to what they can do until we have all of the equipment transferred back to the trailers.
Right, and if you're taking 2 units to it, aren't you?
Well, we were for a while. We've just discontinued that practice so that we're just taking either what was the rescue truck before, what we affectionately call the Warthog, or they're taking an engine depending on the type of call that they go on. Well, but we do, like I say, we do have to get the trailers back up to capable of carrying all the other extra equipment.
Okay. Is there some exceptionally heavy equipment for the light rail that we have to carry? We don't have to jack them up and change the tire.
No.
Okay.
They've gone through drills where they are lifting them, but they're using the same stuff that they would use for a semi on the freeway or any other call like that. They're using the same kind of equipment. That I don't know that there's anything specifically that they have as far as equipment for light rail.
Okay, thank you. Swiftwater Rescue. Are, how much do we respond on with Swiftwater Rescue? We've only got lakes and a.
So our rescue team will respond to the other areas that do have Swiftwater as support. And we have Swiftwater technicians, so they are going and they're taking part in the searches and if there's a rescue to be done, they're taking part of that as well. And how often that is happening, there's probably, I want to say like 8 calls of those a year, but those are usually to the east for us. So our neighbors to the east, we're supporting with our rescue techs.
So that we're able to apply the skills and they need us.
Yes,
Okay,
that's the rescue is definitely a regional resource. There's 2 of them in the zone, so they get called to all of those kinds of calls, regardless of whose jurisdiction it is. Okay, I wanted to come back. Chief Anderson was correcting me. Apparently, there is some equipment specifically for the light rail. So I'm going to have him talk about that.
Good evening. We did receive equipment from Sound Transit specific to lifting the light rails. It's big bottle jacks essentially on steroids, along with very specific lifting jacks. They're pieces of metal that are specific to the trains, the light rails, that were required to carry us in Puget Sound.
I've been on a light rail twice and they've hit somebody and I've seen them trying to jack them up.
Yep, we have that capability.
Yeah. Thank you. One last one in that area. What's emergency management? That's a term I haven't heard before or wasn't paying attention. I noticed we had a half-day seminar on it.
Yes, sir. So emergency management is kind of looking at the larger scale incidences that we could potentially run into, whether it be man-made or human-caused, that really depletes our resources, where we need to stand up our emergency operations center, work with our partnering agencies, those being the cities, police. So it's looking at it kind of big level. It hasn't gained a lot of attention the last couple of years. And so we're in the process of getting that back up where it needs to be.
Were we going to develop emergency management center again?
We currently have one at Station 67.
7.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And just to assure you, we could handle a large response right now. It would just be a little cumbersome. So by reinstituting our emergency management program, it just kind of puts things back in order.
Good. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Public education. Eric isn't here tonight. Could we have a discussion with him here at a meeting sometime? Where he's been around a while. What does he see? Where's he going? What can we help him with?
So Eric is our CAO. He's our community affairs officer. And then we have a public educator. That's Anna Parker. So separate. So which one would you like to hear from?
Public education.
So you want Anna to come in and present
No, I guess I want Eric, his area.
on community affairs?
Yes.
Okay, so
community
you'd like him to come in and give
yeah.
a presentation on community
Confused.
affairs?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
we can make that happen.
thank you. I had a tour of the Fab, and I hadn't seen it before, but I've seen it now, and I'm very impressed with how they've had to make do with all the warehouses screwing up the system, and all the changes they've had to make because of things that just weren't built right, and for us, and I'm looking forward to seeing it put together. It's laid out very nicely. everybody's going to have a lot of room and work together. A lot of conference space, and I like that, because people need to get together. Now we've got a new name. We're at FS 68. Somebody I put Fire Station 68 in their report. They called it FS. Oh, yes.
So that was me. Can you hear me? Test, test. So for a planning perspective, I kind of got that nomenclature from our architects. And so they're used to writing FS to shorten it up. So it stands for fire station. And we wrote 68s because if 62s, when 62s is under construction, the crews will be displaced and this will effectively be called Fire Station 68.
It's more of a designation that you'd use in your building, but we can still call them station, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Last one is I work at a school and noticed at one time that I couldn't see the green light beeping, blinking. Do we check AEDs and when we do fire inspections?
No, that is not part of our inspection because that's not anything in the fire code. That's the building owner's responsibility.
Shouldn't it be? It's part of the emergency process. Are we sure they're taking a look at it?
Well, that's an EMS issue, and my inspectors are not EMTs or EMS related.
Okay. I'm just thinking that somebody ought to be looking at them, and I guess after the experience at Green Gables, I think I'll say that they may not be paying attention. Somebody ought to be paying attention and work that out. Okay, that's all my questions for this time.
Commissioner Burrs.
I'm a month late on this. I forgot about it on the last meeting. But Commissioner Bedino and I were invited to a city council meeting. They're much more exciting than our meetings. But the city had made February Heart Health Month, and one of the council members had some sort of a cardiac event sometime previous, and he could not say enough about our crews that responded, and just thought that they did an amazing job. Got a little certificate here, and I spoke just a little bit about how prevention is obviously always best, but prevention doesn't work. That's where the fire department comes into the equation, and that we appreciated being involved with it. Also, Commissioner, you spoke a little bit about it, but I think our retreat went really well. I think we focused a little bit on what we're doing right and what we need to improve on. Oh,
one other comment, going to public meetings like that, you'll always find somebody coming up to you and saying, what a good job we've done. I've had one tell me they didn't, but that's a good reason to be sure that some of these public meetings we should be at, and just to hear that and be able to give feedback.
Great.
Thank you.
Commissioner Medina?
No comments from me. Thank you.
Commissioner Monroe, you're online.
No comments.
Thank you. My comments is just kind of going back over to retreat. Thank you for all those participated. And that was pretty good. It was a long day, a little bit, in a way. I believe we got a lot accomplished. And again, I just want to thank everyone who attended, whether online or in person. That building, I did go through that building also. It is, I can tell you, that, going through the building and looking the way it did, I mean, it's changed where we went on there and did a tour the first time. A lot different. Appreciate Lee for showing me the building, walking me through it, answering my questions that I had up there. It was great. Second floor is a nice area to be able to do things. So I think if we have anything up there, just make sure ask for some power to the table. Yeah. Fire Marshal Nichols, is there a way that when we have, I'm not going to ask you a question. I just want to know if when you have your community outreach person come in, could you have also your public educator come in and do themselves and do something also? That'd be great. So that two birds with one stone there. Director Gannon, you have.
Chair, I just want to point out these microphones are really sensitive, and when there's a little bit of movement, we miss words. Last meeting, we had to listen to the meeting about 10 times, and that's not an exaggeration, to make sure that one of the motions that had been made, that we actually were able to transcribe it. So I've just noticed in this meeting, just the subtle movements, it drops in and out, and that makes the transcript very difficult to interpret. So if you could just, all of the commissioners, just please make sure that we're speaking like lips up against the mic.
And we can't look down at paper to, does it disturb it if we look down like that?
It does. They're very sensitive. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but just the subtle little looking down. So you have to be very intentional about having that mic up against your mouth. So yours is picking up tonight, but we're hearing it right now, and it just reminded me that it makes the transcript very difficult. Okay.
So I had a question on, I know that we had citizens come in about the FBC. So we got an answer to them, correct?
Yes, we actually sent them an official response.
Okay.
They were in contact with Finance Manager Barrett, and we've added to our list of things to do to analyze the impacts to condos this year and then report back to the board.
Perfect.
But they got an official response on department letterhead.
Perfect. Thank you. So that's all I have. So we're going to move to public comments, item 5. Any public comments, please state your name and address for record. Limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. Do we have any public comment? Hearing nothing, none at all, nobody. Move to item number 6, committee reports. Commissioner Vedino.
So Finance and Audit Committee met this month. The majority of the meeting was about change orders for the FAB. And in your packet, there is a list of them. I will just highlight a couple of the bigger ones. About 4,000 was related to doors going from solid to glass. About 16,000 was due to a ESC upgrade requirement. And potentially about 44,000 is related to ceiling plans. And about 18,000 is related to outlets in HVAC, second level. So those are the highlights. And we do need to make a motion if you are okay. Okay. So I move to approve change orders for a total of $84,215.08.
Your a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, okay, here we go again. I can see where behind the walls, we didn't see things. I can see why change orders come up and difficult to do what you want to do with the things you got. So I understand how they go. Thanks for giving us the details.
Yes, it's $48,215.08.
Is that correct?
Sorry.
Okay. So we have a motion on the table for Commissioner Vedino, second by Commissioner Burrs. Any comments, other comments on the motion? Yes, Commissioner Vedino.
Okay, so just to highlight, that makes our total change orders $297,817.66, which is 7.76% of the project.
I just want to also add a question, but it's really a comment, really, just so everyone's aware. So I know that in looking at the invoices and all the change orders, just to remember, there are markups on those, correct? You look at Boyce and everything else, there's a 10% markup in every total they have on there, which starts adding up. So just for awareness, folks know that that's there. Built a house, you know that when you make change orders, it's always a percentage of what's there. So look at the totals on the invoices for the budget and finance committee. Make sure that you look at those, please. So any other comments? Monroe, you have anything online?
Yeah, I had a quick question about the owner's rep. Is this the right time to talk about that?
We could talk about the staff. when we get down to
Okay,
that portion.
sounds good. No comment then.
Okay, thank you. So a motion on the table in a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Unanimous for change orders. Now we're down to administrative team report. Item number 7.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. So a couple updates I wanted to provide for you. First of all, we're working through a group to do an update on our mission, vision, and values. It's going to be a process where we're very focused on both an inward and an outward facing process. The administrative team helps select, and we're in the process of communicating to those folks who are on the team. Again, we're focusing on basically our why statement, our how statement, and then who we are, our core beliefs. And in the process, we're going to be ensuring that we're honoring our history as well as looking forward to the future. Our target date on that is to have that completed by June 1st. Any comments on that or? Okay. Additionally, our standards of cover and master plan, we've collected the RFPs. We'll be reviewing them on March 31st and look to move forward with that process in April with a targeted completion date of September, which will be in alignment with the budgetary process beginning in October.
What's the commissioner's part of any of those processes? Are we part of the process or are we just reviewing?
That's a great question. So yes, so the mission, vision, and values, that group will be reaching out to the department in its entirety for input. And we're putting the power into that group for that update. So the commissioners will be part of that. And then as far as the standards of cover and the master plan's concerned, once we decide on the company, the stakeholder group will be determined and they'll help shape that, but that will include the board.
Thank you.
I'm on to the Station 62 evaluation on the owner's rep. So what that is we're looking at a person to potentially come in and oversee that project that is a subject matter expert, if you will. The particular person that we interviewed or met with last week, she is a structural engineer who's worked on over, I think she said 15 fire stations with 6 organizations. So we're in the process of waiting to hear back from her exactly what her scope of work and what the associated costs would be with that.
Commissioner Monroe, you want to ask your question now?
Sure. Yeah, so I was just curious, at the price point of 150,000 to 200,000, are we anticipating that will be going forward for any kind of projects that will need that owner's rep each time at that price point?
To be clear, I'm unclear the exact price point, and it's likely to be north of the figures that you talked about. It's in my experience and is something that we have experienced locally with Valley Regional and other organizations to have an owner's rep there is a normal practice to, again, you have somebody who's familiar with navigating the gap between the general contractor, the design team, and the administration, and they're there on our behalf to ensure that our best interests are taken into account. So I would anticipate moving forward when we have projects of that magnitude of the 62 remodel and potential new station builds that we would have that.
On the in the package, it says 150. So excuse me, I said 200, but it's 150 to 250. Are we thinking north of the $250,000 mark?
I think that the 250 is probably a more realistic, but not having seen information back, I don't want to be premature with quoting a price, but I would anticipate more towards the 250.
The owner's rep doesn't mean that Mitch and Eric won't have anything to do, though.
Yeah, that's correct. We still have to have an internal team who's part of that process. They're a big scope of work, and my experience has been in the position of Mitchell and operating with an owner's rep. So there's a big group when it's
I can see
project.
where decisions can be made much faster and get with more discussion than Mitch is able to do now with you can't juggling everything at yourself in the project. So that I like that.
Yeah, and Director Lee has also been part of this process and the interview process and is supportive of this type of decision making as well.
So Chief, that I take it too, when the station bill comes ever, right? Or we're going to do this again? Is that so for when we go to build the station with that dollar amount, do you anticipate that position being hired again, whatever?
Yeah, I would anticipate that we would have a good experience and be hiring the same person. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Next item, we have contract negotiations kicking off with the firefighter bargaining unit. Will be this Friday. We have 4 dates on the books. We're excited to begin the process, and it's been very collaborative getting everything booked so far. So we're excited to get that going. No specifics, but we will be keeping the board apprised as we move on. So then our next meeting in April, we'll have information to share out on that. My last point is today was a good reminder of our mission, of our service to the community. There was an apartment fire in Federal Way. I was able to go to that with Chief Michaels. Our crews did an exceptional professional job of getting a quick knockdown on a fire that could have had significant spread. There was vinyl siding. It had already self-vented out the front of the building. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the process, but it was a good reminder of being in our community and seeing the real effects that these emergency responses have on our community members. And the team just did an amazing job. It was us at our best, and it was nice to see. And that's all I had for you.
Thank you, Chief. Please extend our thanks to the crews, Chief Michaels. That's great. Great job. Any other questions for the administrative team at all?
This might be for Chief Anderson. I read that you've got better moorage for the fire department. Is that part of the electrolysis issue?
It's still a work in progress. We're still meeting with the city manager at the city of Des Moines. But she recognized or agreed that the previous location was not ideal for us. So as we're still working with them to iron out a few other things, she did temporarily allow us to move the boat. It's not its final resting place yet.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you, Chief. We move to item 8, the March budget.
Okay, hard to believe that we are already a quarter into this year. It seems to be flying by. As such, we would expect to be at about 25% year to date, and we are trending below budget. When we include our monthly medical expenses, we are at 22 64%, which puts us at 2 3600% under budget for the year. So we're starting out the year good, but we also know that some of our big ticket projects haven't really ramped up yet. So that will be something we will be monitoring throughout the year, but we're starting off 2026 in a good financial position. And for the exact numbers, Finance Manager Barrett.
Okay, this month we have mid-month totaling $240,170.18. Accounts payable totaling $1,614,422.14. Payroll totaling $1,833,228.43. Our EFTPS totaling $406,163.91. Our medical claims processed as of March 17th totaling $315,677.08. Excuse me, for a total approval of $4,409,661.74.
Thank you. Any questions? You're seeing none. Thank you. And I'll take approval or a motion for the approval of vouchers.
I move to approve the vouchers.
Motion by Commissioner Vino. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Burrs. Any comments on the motion on the table?
No.
Hearing seen none. Thank you. Hearing seen none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Unanimous. Just one more comment for item 10 in German, but just have one thing. So out at the retreat, I forgot to mention that policy, you would be meeting and there's some items in the retreat that we have to get to for the commissioners. So that's going to be ongoing. Many of the items that we have on there will be changing the guidelines. So come back to us. So any other business this time? Yes, Commissioner Foley.
There. Today, Steve, you sent out a service model development on apparatus, and I haven't had a chance to read it thoroughly, but I can see that we're going through and thinking about our future. And I've always heard an expression that our true leader is one that sees the consequences further ahead than anyone else, and I think we're trying to do that. And the consequences we make now are going to lead to things that we may not have looked farther enough ahead. We look forward to discussing it more.
Thank you, Commissioner Fuller.
Any other business at this time? Any other business? Hearing and seeing none, we are adjourned.